This is lesson 84 for Algebra 2. It's due on April 27th, on Monday, April 27th. This is solving rational equations. So some of your rational equations are going to look like this. They're actually set up as proportions. So just solve them as a proportion. If it's set up as a proportion, if it's set up and it looks like this, solve it as a proportion. So you're just going to cross multiply. So 30 times x minus 5 equals 3 times x squared minus 25. So then what I would do here is, there's a couple of different things you could do. Well, let's just do it this way. 30x minus 150, because the majority of you hopefully were like, okay, I'm going to distribute now. I want to move everything to the x squared. So I'm going to subtract 30x and add 150. I'm going to subtract 30x and add 150. So that's going to give me 0 equals 3x squared minus 30x plus 75. And no, I'm not going to go through this slowly because that shouldn't be a big deal for y'all. Then I'm going to divide everything by 3 because everything's divisible by 3. So 0 equals x squared minus 10x plus 25. So that'd be x minus 5, or x minus 5 squared. So my 0 is 5. Now here's the deal with rational equations, okay? This x cannot make either one of these 0. So if you found an x that makes it 0, you have no solution. So right off the bat, we're given one that there's no solution to, okay? But I'm glad, because you've got to watch out for that. Because if we did over and over and over again where you get a solution, y'all aren't going to be looking for it. So this is a good one to start out with to show you that x equals 5 would make x minus 5 right there 0, which would make the whole thing undefined. So no solution. Okay, so be careful with that. So let's try another one, hopefully that has a solution. So I've got 4 over x plus 3 equals 6 over x minus 2. Now I'm showing, just make sure you pay attention to what I'm doing on the notes. So that's going to be 4 times x minus 2 equals 6 times x plus 3. So it's 4x minus 8, 6x plus 18. And then, guys, this is just an easy, like Algebra 1 equation to solve. Shouldn't be a big deal for you at all. That's 26. So x is negative 13. Negative 13 doesn't make either one of those 0, so we're good. So x equals negative 13. Okay, that's what you have to watch out for. That's the biggest thing you have to watch out for, is that right there. Is it making it 0? Okay, so that it doesn't make it 0. Then 8 over x minus 6 equals 1 over x plus 6. So cross multiply 8 times x plus 6 equals x minus 6, because 1 times x minus 6 is just that. So 8x plus 48 equals x minus 6. Subtract x from both sides, so 7x plus 48 equals negative 6. Subtract 48. So what that is, negative, well, I've got my calculator because my brain is not working right now. 6 and 48, 54. Negative 54 over 7. So x is negative 54 over 7. I just leave it as a fraction like that. Doesn't make any denominator 0, so there's the answer, which is good since I already circled it. Okay, let's try 9 over 5 minus x equals x over x minus 5. Okay, so here we're going to have 9 times x minus 5 equals 5 minus x times x. I should have put it first, sorry. So 9x minus 45 equals 5x minus x squared. Okay, so I don't want that x squared to be negative, so I'm going to move it. So plus x squared plus 5x, actually minus 5x. I subtracted 5x. So those go. So x squared minus, come on, pay attention. I'm not even paying attention. And I'm making a huge mess. Oh my goodness. Okay, so x squared, and then 9x minus 5x would be a 4x right here, minus 45. So then this would factor. So sometimes you might have to factor. But y'all should know that. Like, y'all have seen this before. So I've got x plus 9, x minus 5. That's negative 9 and 5. Maybe 5 makes both of those 0. So the only answer here is negative 9. Again, make sure you pay attention to that, because that'll catch you. Okay, so just make sure you pay attention to that. Then you might have one that looks like 4x over x minus 9 equals 15. So again, cross multiply. There's a 1 underneath the 15. So 4x equals 15 times x minus 9. So 4x equals 15x minus, again, brain not working, so 135. Subtract 15x. So that is what, negative 9x equals negative 135. Am I right? No, I'm not. See, I told you, my brain is not working today. Sorry about this video. Wow. And then gonna divide by negative 11. Whoa. 135 divided by 11 doesn't divide evenly, so it'd be positive 135 over 11 if I didn't mess up, because like I said, my brain, let me look at it again. So 4x over x minus 9 equals 15. Got that. 4x minus 15 is 11. Okay, and it doesn't make the x minus 9 0, so we're good. Another type you'll see, those were all proportions. Those were all set of proportions. You solve them as proportions. Then you'll also see something like negative 8 over x plus 5 equals x minus 4. Negative 8 over x plus 5 equals x minus 4. So what you want to do here is you want to multiply everything by x. It's like you have a fraction that you want to get rid of. So multiply everything by that denominator. So we're going to multiply the whole thing by x. So that'll leave negative 8 plus 5x equals x squared minus 4x. We want to get rid of that fraction, so we multiply by the denominator like we've done before. It's usually just that it is numbers, okay, instead of a variable. But now it's a variable, and we want to get rid of it. So I subtracted the 5x, I added the 8. I factor x minus 8, x minus 1. That means it can be 8 or 1 maybe. The only thing that can make that 0 is 0, so we're good. So x is 8 or 1. Either one. Let's see another one like that one. Let's see. 8 over x plus 2 equals x. 8 over x plus 2 equals x. So we're going to multiply everything by x. So that'll only mean 8 plus 2x equals x squared. Then I'm going to subtract 2x and subtract 8 because I hate when x squared is negative. So x squared minus 2x minus 8. So it'd be x minus 4, x plus 2, which would be 4 and negative 2, which does not make that denominator 0. So x equals 4 and negative 2. Okay, then there's one more type that you're going to see, and I got to erase my whole board for it. So here we go. Okay. Let's see. X plus 5 over x plus 3 plus 28 over x squared plus 8x plus 15 equals 4. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have to find a common denominator and multiply everything by the common denominator. So that means got to factor this, x plus 5, x plus 3. Got to factor that. So that means my common denominator is x plus 5, x plus 3. So that means I'm going to put x plus 5 times x plus 3 right here. I'm going to put x plus 5 times x plus 3 right here. And I'm going to put x plus 5 times x plus 3 right here. And go through and cancel. So for example, on the first one, x plus 3 cancels, and I get x plus 5 times x plus 5, or you can put x plus 5 squared, that's fine. Here the second, they all cancel, so it's left with 28. Then I've got 4 times x squared plus 8x plus 15. because I know x plus 5 times x plus 3 is x squared plus 8x plus 15. I don't think I can even get this in the shot. Okay, so now this is x squared plus 10x plus 25 plus 28. So that's going to be what? X squared plus 10x plus 53 equals 4x squared plus 32x plus 60. Again, let me check my brain. Okay, and let me check the 25 and 28 as well. Okay, so this is what we have now. So then we're going to subtract x squared. We're going to subtract 10x. And we're going to subtract 53. And we're going to see what we've got left. Okay, I'm going to move it up here. So what? That'd be 3x squared plus 22x plus 7. Let me make sure. 4x squared minus x squared, 3x squared. 32 minus 10, 22. 60 minus 53, 7. Okay, so 3 times 7, 21, because we've got to solve this. We've got to solve. We want to solve. We've got an equal to. So 3 times 21 is 21. So 21 and 1 give me 22. So 3x squared plus 21x plus 1x plus 7. So take a 3x out. That's x plus 7. Take a 1 out. That's x plus 7. So 3x plus 1, x plus 7. So negative 1/3, negative 7. Hopefully neither one of these make it 0, which they don't, because it's x plus 3 and it's x plus 5x plus 3. So the only issues would be a negative 3 or a negative 5. So there are my two answers on that one. Okay, so let's do one more of those, and then this is the last one on the notes, and I'm going to talk about the lesson, assign the lesson, and talk about the lesson. Okay, so let's see. We have 8x over x minus 1 minus x plus 33 over x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 9. Okay, 8x over x minus 1, that's x plus 33 over x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 9. Okay, got to factor x plus 3, x minus 1, and then find the common denominator, which is x plus 3x minus 1. So we multiply everything by x plus 3, x minus 1, x plus 3, x minus 1, x plus 3. You know what? I'm just going to put x squared plus 2x minus 3, because that's what x plus 3x minus 1 is. First one, x minus 1 cancels, so I'd have 8x times x plus 3. Second one, everything cancels, so I have, watch this, pay attention, minus x minus 33, because that subtraction sign has to go through. Watch it, pay attention, minus x minus 33 equals 9x squared plus 18x minus 27. Again, can't fit it all into the screen. So then this would be 8x squared plus 24x minus x minus 33. So that'd be 8x squared plus 23x minus 33 equals 9x squared plus 18x minus 27. Subtracting 8x squared, subtracting 23x, and adding 33. So that'd be x squared minus 5x plus 6. Again, let me check my brain. So 18 minus 23, negative 5, and negative 27 plus 33, 6. Okay, so then x minus 3, x minus 2, because the factors of 6 that give negative 5 are 3 and 2, negative 3, negative 2. So that means x can be 3, x can be 2, maybe 3 and 2. Not an issue here, not an issue here. So x is 3, 2. Okay, so that is lesson 84. Now let me make the assignment and talk about a few things. Okay, so again, it's due 4/27. And y'all probably, when I erase that, I probably make us so busy. Sorry. So you're going to do the warm-up, which is on page 592. On number 3, you're supposed to add 5 over 3x plus 6 plus x over x plus 2. So you've got to factor this into 3 times x plus 2. So your common denominator is 3 times x plus 2. So that means these need a 3. So you can finish it from there. Number 4, you need to factor the denominators. You need to factor x squared minus 8x plus 16. And you need to factor 5x squared minus 15x minus 20. Y'all should know how to factor those. Once you factor them, oh wow, a 5 comes out of this, and that makes it an easy factor. Just FYI. Makes it a very easy factoring. Just match the factors up. So this is like x minus 4 times x minus 4. So you need both of those in your least common multiple or in your common denominator. I think they asked for a denominator, least common denominator. You're going to need the 5. You're going to need both those. You're going to need the 5. This factors into x minus 4, x minus 1. And you need the x minus 1. So I've underlined everything you need. So make sure you show all that on number 4. You're not adding it. You're just factoring it and finding your least common denominator. Sorry, there was a glare there. There's how that factors. There's how that factors. I've underlined everything you need in your least common denominator. Then on number 5, you know, just factor and cancel. So what, x plus 6x minus 2. Here you can take a 6 out and have x minus 2. You should be able to finish it from there. Okay, so that's the warm-up on page 592. Then you're going to do the practice, and you're just going to do A through F. You're doing A through F. Then on the lesson, let's see, on the lesson, 1, 4, 6 through 10, 12 through 17, and 19 through 23. 1 through 4, 6 through 10, 12 through 17, and 19 through 23. That's what you're doing. Again, this is due 4/27. And let me make sure there's nothing really crazy. On number 1, you need to add 360. Did I assign number 1? Yeah, okay. So you're going to add 360 until you get an acute angle, an acute positive angle. So add... Actually, no, you don't want to add it. You want to subtract. You need to subtract 360 and then subtract 180, and you'll get an acute positive angle, which would be a reference angle. So that's why I wanted you to do number 1, because I wanted to tell you how to do it. Is you need to subtract 360, then subtract 180, so you get an acute. Again, let me check my brain. That's 504 minus 360 minus 180. No, that's not going to do. Oh, okay. Because you want to get acute. Then you're going to have to change the sign because it's got to be positive. Remember, your reference angles have to be acute and positive, okay? Number 4, count the boxes. On number 4, just count the boxes. Count the blue boxes. Number 6 is completing the square. Make sure you factor it. Number 7 is just a z-score. Number 8, you're going to use Heron's formula to find that area. You want to find the number of square miles. So 8 is Heron's formula. Go back to 77. Go back to your notes on that. Then on number 9, don't use a graphing calculator. Use either quadratic formula. Yeah, use quadratic formula on number 9. Not a graphing calculator. Use quadratic formula on number 9. Number 10, that should be easy. Because stuff just cancels. Number 10. Number 12. Oh, number 12. Okay, I want to show number 12. I want to show you how you can change this so that you can factor it. Number 12. 1/2 x squared minus 2 equals 0. And it says to factor by the difference of 2 squares. Well, this isn't the difference of 2 squares. But there's a fraction there that I want to get rid of. So if I'll multiply everything by 2, that's x squared minus 4 equals 0. Then it's x plus 2, x minus 2, negative 2, and 2. So that's why I wanted to show you 12, to show you how that can work like that. So that's number 12. Number 13, remember how to find the absolute value of the number. Remember, it's a squared plus b squared, square root of that. So a is 2, b is 1, not 0. The student in the book used 0, so you fix it this way. Make sure you fix it and put the correct answer. 14 is that real easy making an equation that you just did. Make sure on 14 you put equal 0. 15 is just plugging in. You have to plug in twice. You have to use 3 and 2.5 for D. That's your D, and you're solving for W on both of them. So plug 3 in for D, plug 2.5 in for D. Then it looks like you're going to need to multiply by pi, square both sides, and then divide by 15. Okay? That's what you need to do. Leave it in terms of pi until you divide by 15. So again, you put in 3 for D, and then you're going to multiply by pi, square both sides, divide by 15, and then you're going to plug in 2.5 for D. You're going to multiply by pi, square both sides, and then divide by 15. Okay? Then number 16, you're just plugging in. You're going to put 0.01 over 10 to the negative 12th, and you're going to type that in your calculator. 10 log parentheses 0.01 divided by 10 to the negative 12th in your calculator. And then 17, those are those complex roots that I showed you how to do in the last lesson. And then 19, 20, 21 are like this lesson. 22, what would the value of a discriminative equation if the vertex of the related function is located in quadrant 3 and the parabola opens up? So what that's saying is this. 22. The vertex is 3 and it opens up. So that means it's got 2 real zeros. So the discriminant will be positive because it's got 2 real roots. So make sure you draw that picture that I've drawn and show that it's positive. It's 2 real roots. And then 23 is finding the quadratic equation that has real roots. So make sure when you're finding a quadratic equation, like number 23, that you put equal 0. Number 14 needs an equal 0. Number 17 needs an equal 0. Okay? And again, due on the 27th.